The cabin in the woods. 5 friends drive into the woods for one carefree weekend. They never realize the world's survival depends on how they die. One weekend, Dana, Marty, Jules, Curt, and Holden arrive at a remote cabin, convinced they've found the perfect getaway. Hidden beneath the forest, technicians watch every move. Then they trigger hidden mechanisms and steer the group toward an ancient ritual. That detail makes the whole cabin feel completely rigged. The elevator doors open, and everything beneath the cabin changes the story. The doors slide apart. Silence. Monsters fill the underground prison. Dana refuses to kill Marty. The ritual fails and the Ancient Ones rise. Their compassion becomes humanity's downfall because every other option demanded sacrifice. Every choice now guarantees someone's destruction. A patrol car offers one last chance, but the safest seat is already taken. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The beginning. Chrissy reaches the road believing the nightmare is over. She never realizes the killer is already riding with her. Night falls in Texas. Chrissy escapes the Hewitt house and gets into a car, convinced she's survived. The engine starts, she breathes. Then she sees a state trooper on the road and pulls over for help. And yeah, that makes the back seat reveal even nastier. The car becomes the last place she should ever trust. Leatherface rises, but he was never outside. He steps from the back seat, kills Chrissy from behind, and the car loses control, killing the trooper and the man he had stopped. The promise of rescue exists only to make its loss even more devastating. Safety becomes part of the killer's cruelty. Relief becomes the deadliest mistake she will ever make that night. The next nightmare doesn't end when the lights go out. That's when it finally begins. Quarantine. Angela thinks she's covering a routine emergency. She never realizes her camera is recording everyone's final moments. Late at night, reporter Angela Vidal follows firefighters into a Los Angeles apartment building, believing it's just another rescue. Moments later, soldiers seal every exit. Residents turn violent. Scott stays beside her. You can feel the building turning into a coffin. Then the attic reveals the truth nobody was prepared to find. Angela and Scott reach the attic apartment and find evidence of the Armageddon virus. Then the lights die. Night vision clicks on. Scott is killed, and the emaciated, infected figure drags Angela into the darkness. The camera keeps recording because it cannot save anyone. Watching becomes the only thing left. Every witness becomes part of the evidence. Some nightmares don't end with the last victim. They begin when someone starts looking for answers. The autopsy of Jane Doe. A young woman's body never moves. She still destroys everyone who tries to understand her. Late one night, coroners Tommy and Austin Tilden examine an unidentified woman believing it's a routine autopsy. Impossible injuries hide beneath flawless skin. The morgue comes alive. That detail is creepy because she never even moves. Then every answer points away from the body and toward everyone alive. Tommy sacrifices himself, believing Jane Doe is making him suffer. Austin ends his father's pain. He hears what seems to be Sheriff Burke arriving, but reality is distorted. Another hallucination follows. Austin falls to his death. By morning, Jane Doe's body is taken away. Jane Doe leaves the morgue untouched while everyone else breaks. One mystery ends inside a morgue. The next one has been waiting patiently for years. Final destination, Bloodlines. Stephanie believes death has finally lost her trail. She never realizes it has only been waiting. Years after Iris Campbell survives the Skyview disaster, Stephanie Reyes returns home, convinced her visions can save her family. Every warning comes too late. Every escape ends in another deadly accident. And honestly, death being this patient is terrifying. Then the last heartbeat stops meaning what everyone believes it does. Stephanie believes she's survived. Later, the truth emerges. She was never clinically dead. A freight train derails nearby and its timber cargo crashes down onto Stephanie and Charlie, killing them both. Death never changes the rules. Believing you've escaped only makes the final surprise crueler. No borrowed life stays borrowed forever. Sometimes the safest looking place hides the cruelest ending. Inbred. The villagers welcome every visitor with a smile. Nobody realizes the celebration has already chosen its victims. A group of offenders and their supervisors arrives in Mortlake, believing it's just another community project. The locals seem friendly. Then the games begin. Every escape ends in another ambush. Yeah, this town makes survival feel like entertainment. Then the cheering becomes louder than the screaming. The survivors are dragged into a public spectacle. Sam breaks free and runs for safety. For a moment, it looks like she's made it. Sam steps on a hidden landmine. She freezes. Then a ferret crawls up her leg. She panics, and the mine blows her apart. The village turns every last chance into another performance. In Mortlake, hope is the final trap. The hardest battles don't always end when the killing stops. Some begin with the people left behind. Pet Cemetery, Lewis buries his daughter believing love can undo death. He never realizes grief is leading his family somewhere far worse.
Daddy.
After Ellie Creed dies, Lewis buries her in the Micmac burial ground, convinced he can bring her back. Ellie returns, but she isn't the daughter he remembers. She kills Judd and fatally wounds Rachel. And that is exactly why grief feels dangerous here. Then love stops looking like salvation and becomes the curse. Ellie fatally wounds Rachel, and Louis locks Gage inside the car. Ellie drags Rachel to the burial ground. Rachel returns, kills Louis, and the resurrected family walks toward Gage's locked car. Grief convinces Louis that love is worth any price. That belief destroys everything. Gage is still alive inside the locked car, and that is the cruelest part. Everything looks quiet. That's exactly what makes the next mistake so easy to make. Chernobyl Diaries. The abandoned city looks completely empty. Nobody realizes they're being watched from the moment they arrive. A group of tourists joins an illegal tour through Pripyat, believing they're exploring a city frozen in time. Their van is sabotaged. Night falls. Every attempt to leave drives them deeper into the ruins. Then the empty city reveals it was never empty at all. Chris disappears. Amanda wakes on a gurney believing she's finally been rescued. But the doctors decide she knows too much and lock her in a dark cell with the escaped patients. You can feel rescue turning into another locked door. Then the patients swarm her, and rescue becomes her final trap. The people who find Amanda aren't there to save her. Being found was never the same as being saved. Every trap has an ending. The cruelest ones make you think you've reached it. Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings. The survivors finally leave the sanatorium behind. They never realize freedom lasts only a few more seconds. A group of college students take shelter inside an abandoned sanatorium, believing the blizzard is their greatest threat. The Cannibal Brothers hunt them through the building. One survivor after another falls. Then the escape becomes the deadliest part of the journey. The last survivors steal a snowmobile and race across the frozen lake. For a moment, it looks like they've made it. Too late. Man, that snowmobile escape is cruelly well timed. A razor wire trap cuts across the ice and decapitates them. The promise of freedom becomes the final trap. The finish line was waiting to kill them. Running won't help this time. The danger is waiting with open arms. 2001 Maniacs. The festival feels warm and welcoming. Nobody realizes every smile is leading them toward the same fate. A group of college students stumbles into Pleasant Valley believing they've found a forgotten Southern celebration. The music plays, the tables fill. That fake welcome is what makes this town nasty. Then the celebration reveals who it was really meant to honor. Anderson and Joey seem to escape, even reaching the authorities. But when they ride away, a wire trap decapitates them, proving Pleasant Valley never really let them go. The town doesn't survive by hiding its past. It survives by repeating it. Every celebration is only waiting for its next guess. Crowds can hide terrible things. They can also trap you when everything falls apart. Rec 3 Genesis. A wedding begins with promises for the future. Before the night ends, those promises are all that's left. Coldo and Clara celebrate their wedding, believing the chaos is only another isolated attack. The infection spreads through the guests. The reception becomes a massacre. They fight through the carnage, desperate to find each other. And somehow, that makes the ending hurt even more. Then the reunion costs them everything they have left. Clara is bitten, and Coldo cuts off her arm to stop the infection. They reach the quarantine line. Clara suddenly turns, kisses Coldo, bites off his tongue, and the armed response team shoots them both. They make it to the final barrier. It still isn't enough. Sometimes the last door is only another ending. You can kill every victim, but you can't kill what already spread. Cabin fever. Jeff believes the nightmare is finally over. He never realizes the infection has already chosen him. 5 friends retreat to a remote cabin, believing a quiet weekend will solve their problems. A flesh-eating infection tears the group apart. Panic replaces trust. Every desperate choice leaves another victim. And honestly, that fake safety makes it even worse. Then the last survivor realizes the nightmare never ended. Jeff returns to the cabin believing he may be the only one left. The infection appears on his hand. Deputy Winston sees it and shoots him before survival can mean anything. Paul dies from the infection, and the outbreak still feels bigger than the cabin. The outbreak doesn't end with the last victim. It simply waits for the next drink. The last survivor dies, but the infection keeps moving.